Welcome to the Growing Your Business podcast, a program created to answer the question, what's in it for me, for both the business and their customers. Today's guest had this to say.
Business is a team sport. It's not one person that makes all the decisions, does everything, or at least it shouldn't be, because if you do that, there's only so far you can go. If you really want to grow, you have to create a solid team around you. And so leadership development programs that we build help get the second level leaders to be part of that brain trust.
Now, stay tuned as we hear more on their values, mission, and why they continue to grow their business. Welcome to Growing Your Business. Today I'm joined by Warren Sager of Assured Strategy Business Coaching. Warren, thanks for being on the show today.
Awesome. Thanks. Great to be here.
Excellent. So tell me, what's the benefit of working with you and your company?
Wow, you just jump right into the hard questions.
That's what I say. Our customers want to know, what's in it for me.
Well, and that's true. So business coaches, it's kind of a newish profession. Maybe you've heard of it. Some people haven't. It's only been around maybe a dozen or so years. And the whole idea is, as business leaders, we're trying to grow companies, and it's hard.
It is hard.
Very hard. Yeah, you're a business owner, and you speak to a lot of business owners. It's very hard. And there are best practices, there are tools, there's help with mirroring so you could see what it is you're actually doing well or not doing well. And that's what business coaches do is they help bring some accountability, focus, and structure to how you're running your business so you can do it better with less stress.
That's terrific, because as business owners, and I'm one, as you mentioned, you feel alone a lot, and you don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
So talk to me about your approach. Like when you say a new business owner or a business owner reaches out to you through your website or whatever, how does that work?
Well, first of all, we want to find out how humble they are. And that really actually is important, because some people want to grow. They want to grow their business, but they don't want to grow themselves as leaders and able to grow the business. So that's the first thing, is we want people that actually want to do the work. And it is work, right? Just like when you hire any coach for sports, they just can't tell you what to do and then boom, you have it. You have to do the work, and we have to focus to help them do the work. And if they're not willing to do it, they're not going to get the results they're looking for, like most things in life.
So right out of the gate, let's say that I know everything. I've reached out to you, but I know everything. How do you turn someone away like that? You say we're not the right fit for you.
Actually, we do. We say that because we have to. I mean, the whole point is we want to get results. And if I could see that you're really not in the right mindset to really do the work and get the results, or I know you think you're going to get the results, but you won't do the work to get the results, then it's not worth our time and energy. We're not here to make money. I mean, obviously we charge for our services.
You're for profit, but
right. But we also, I know I do this because I'm passionate about this work. I'm a former entrepreneur for many, many years, and I know the struggles, and I want people to get to the other side of the struggles, to freedom, where they run their business, not their business is running them. And so if you really aren't going to be able to get there because you aren't mentally ready for that, then it's just not worth my time and energy. I want to help people.
Right. So let's say that I am a humble person. I know that I don't know everything, and I'm on your website and I'm looking at all the different coaching programs you have. I'm reading things like scaling up, velocity, strategic development. Kind of walk me through your offering for someone like me.
Sure. Well, and it all comes down to the same thing, right? We're all just trying to help leaders understand what's going on in their business, help them all get accountable towards the same goals, and then work towards achieving those goals, working as a healthy team with good communication. So I know that's a mouthful, but that's what it really, the foundation of it all of it is. Now, if you're a bigger company with a bigger team, then we're going to focus on just some more bigger strategy work, where we're going to help get you aligned to bigger goals, and then help create bigger goals towards those longer term goals, and help make that all happen. But then for smaller companies, that's what Velocity Circles was created for. And that's a group coaching environment where we put 5 company CEOs and their number 2s, their COO or partner or whatever that is, in a room. And we go through the same stuff we do with the bigger companies, but we do it just a little bit slower and in a team environment, so everyone's supporting each other. So not only are you learning from the system that we teach and having the coach like me help you through it, but then now you've got the support network of these 5 companies that you become like a little, mastermind support group within each other.
That's terrific. So then you've gone through the course and you have someone else to lean on. And one, you've made a good new business association, ideally.
Absolutely. And then the third piece we have a lot of different programs, but the big third piece that we do is leadership training, because not only are the CEO and or just the business owner need to be able to do great things, but business is a team sport. It's not one person that makes all the decisions, does everything, or at least it shouldn't be, because if you do that, there's only so far you can go. If you really want to grow, you have to create a solid team around you. And so leadership development programs that we build help get the second level leaders or people that are in the organization to become leaders, think like leaders, act like leaders, and then be part of that brain trust to help move the business forward. If you don't have that, there's only so far that you can go. One of the big quotes that we give is, you cannot grow a company faster than the growth of the leaders that are running that company. So it's really all about the people. And again, people say that all the time, but it really is true. And it's not just a slogan. There's like work behind it. Like, we got to take your leaders, and they have to be, more focused and accountable. And you need to communicate to them in the right way. And then the ones that rise to the top that have that leadership potential, you need to develop that and help them become great leaders.
Tell me a success story. I know you have a range of companies of all sizes.
Yeah.
And we don't have to mention names or
Yeah.
maybe the type of business they're in.
Well, my biggest success stories were what really got me into coaching, because before I became a certified coach, again, I was an entrepreneur. I had my own companies. I was, of course, coaching my team. The system scaling up that I actually coach on now is the system that actually I built one of my companies with.
Terrific.
And it changed things for me. So, I mean, that's the first, the testimony was myself.
Right.
But again, just because you do it for yourself is one thing. Long story short is, there was a buddy of mine that was in business. I knew him very well, and he went bankrupt. And it happens, he made a strategic mistake, and it cost him the business. He came to me and said, Warren, listen, I know I screwed up, and you know what happened and why it went bad. But listen, I know I've got a great business. I've been in business 10 years. I've got a great brand. We do good work. Like, we could fix this. So he convinced me to get with the bank, and I bought the assets and the company out of bankruptcy, and I owned it. And the deal was that he was going to run it, and I was going to own it. I was not just silent. I was like invisible. It was, as far as everyone knew, it was still his company.
Yeah. And
great, let's do it. And he had a plan, and he was going. So 6 months into the plan, I had complete faith and trust in him, and it wasn't working. It was not happening. And so I actually said, well, it's my business, right? I have real money on the line here. I started spending some time with him, and I realized, oh crap, he's running a business the way I used to, the way most people do, which is you show up every day, you do your best you can to take care of customers, you're taking care of your employees, you've got a revolving door, people coming in and out, asking questions, trying to make decisions, and you fight through it and get to the next day. Well, guess what? That's not a way to scale a business and to be successful. And that's what he was doing. That's what most people do. And I'm like, okay, listen, I need to come in and help. And so I went in and started coaching him on what I did for myself and my business. And overnight, literally overnight, you could see the change. Two things changed. One is, he as a leader, all of a sudden the weight of the world that was on his shoulders started going away. Because with the system, you're leveraging the team, and it's not just all on you. And then the team started doing more, and the company started accomplishing more. My friend, the leader, was doing less. And long story short, when I did finally actually sell him back the company, which was always the original plan, it was a great success story. And they're going to do over $10 million this year. So they're killing it.
That's wonderful. And I imagine every leader that's listening, or say leader, business owner that's listening, when you hear that last part, especially where he's leading now and the weight goes off his shoulders because other people are carrying some of the load, that, for me, I was like, wow, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it's powerful, and it can happen. That's what I tell folks. They're like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, you can't not do this, because do you not want to have your time and energy back, your freedom? Do you want to be on the other side of this where, the reason you became a business owner is because you wanted to have control over your life and your business and your circumstances, and then somehow that doesn't always work that way, and you can and you will, and I can help you get there.
Stay with us. The Growing Your Business podcast will return right after this. The Growing Your Business podcast is sponsored in part by Visual Learning Solutions. Stands out with its expertise in crafting immersive audio and video experiences. Their creative team has over 30 years of experience delivering dynamic internal training programs tailored to various industries. They ensure the audience receives a compelling message, promotes brand awareness, and increases return on investment. They also excel in producing marketing content. Learn more at their website, visuallearningsolutions.com. Please check our show notes for sponsorship links and additional details. Now, back to the Growing Your Business podcast with Buddy Broyles. I meet you at an event, or something like that, and I see that you also host in-person events. Talk to me about what type of engagement I would expect, as in, so Buddy, what
Yeah.
would you need from Buddy?
Yeah. So our typical engagement with clients is we work on this quarterly retreat system. So every business is obviously there's the day to day of running the business, and
course.
a business coach is not a consultant. I'm not in your business looking there day to day and telling you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. That's what consultants do. That's not what coaches do. What coaches do is we help you understand a process, and then we help coach you through that process. So the big part of the process is quarterly retreats, where each quarter you come together with your leadership team, this brain trust that you've created to help you run your business. And you figure out, hey, how did we do this past quarter? We had some goals and objectives. How did we do? Let's learn from that. And then let's make new goals and objectives. So this quarterly rhythm allows people to still, focus on their day-to-day, but yet still taking little chunks of what they want to do to grow and make the business better. And then we do that on this quarterly rhythm.
So we're looking at an annual thing, quarterly. What's a typical engagement? Like, how long do people stay with the program for coaching?
Yeah. So the thing about business, right, is it never ends. So once you get to a certain level, then you start to look up and you can then see the next level, and then you keep going to that.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunately, in theory, coaching never ends, because just like, I talk about this example, Tiger Woods, one of the best golfers of all time. Do you think at a pinnacle of his career, he's like, cool, I don't need a coach anymore. I guess I got this. Hell no. No, he absolutely kept using coaching. In fact, he doubled down on a lot of his coaching because he knew he had places he could, take his game. So it's an ongoing thing, because the deeper you get into it and the more you grow, the more you realize you can keep growing. However, just to specifically answer your question, our agreements are at least a year, because we can't, do any real work in a shorter period of time than that. And our average client is about 3 to 4 years. At that point, a lot of times they feel like they've got enough, air under their wings, and they're going to, try to go solo sometimes.
Right, and they can always come back.
Always come back. And sometimes they do.
Yeah, that's terrific. So let's kind of step back a little bit and talk about what got you into this. And again, you mentioned you started your business and whatnot. How does one like yourself, a business owner, make the transition to a coach?
Yeah. Well, my story is actually very personal. So I grew up in a family business, a family farm that my dad had started. And it was very stressful. Yeah. I mean, extremely stressful. Business is hard in general, but farming, I think, is really hard because there's so many uncontrolled variables that happen, like weather. Anyway, long story short, that stress really took a toll on my dad, and he developed some heart issues from that, and it eventually took his life earlier than I would have liked to, and he would have. Yeah, thank you. But the moral from that story is, my dad worked hard and not always smart. And part of that was the circumstance of the business. Some of it was just not knowing. Yeah. And so when I started my first company, I thought I knew better and I was going to do great things. But you kind of go back to what you were taught and what you knew. And so I thought that I was working smarter, but I was just like my dad. I was working my butt off, working really hard, not smart, very stressed, and not being very successful. And that's when I sought going after a better way, and I found this scaling up system, and that changed everything for me. So as I was now living this freedom for myself, and I was like, man, this is awesome. I have all this time and energy, and my business is running smoothly. And then I realized a lot of the people around me that were business owners, that were my friends, they were still, living that stressful life, and we're not there. And so it became really important to me to help them. I don't want them to wind up like my dad did, where the stress, it had a toll on their health and their life. So that's what motivated me to be a coach. And then ultimately, the passion for that was even greater than actually running my business. So I sold my companies and went, all in doing coaching full time.
Are there businesses that you prefer to serve? The business types you prefer to serve?
No, this is what's great. People say, what industries are you in? And the answer is all of them. So again, I'm not a consultant, which means consultants have to be very knowledgeable and they have to understand your business because they're giving you real advice that's going to affect the day-to-day. So no, we don't do that. We're coaches. No one knows your business better than you do. So I don't need to be an expert in your business. That's your job. I'm an expert in business and people and how to get your team and the people within it and you to perform better so you can accomplish what you can with what you already know.
That's terrific. So what's the best way to reach you and begin the engagement?
Yeah, actually, if you go to assuredstrategy.com, our website, we have some free offers. We want to help. right? So we're always about helping first. So lots of ways we can go on that on the website to help you with things that might help get you started, and that'll start you to understand what coaching is all about, what myself as a coach and Assured Strategy Coaching is all about. And if you like it, great. If you don't, take the free information or what we gave you, and that's fine too. We also do a lot of webinars, free webinars that are also on our website, and we do some in-person public workshops. Our next one is actually coming up in San Antonio, December 9th, and where we do a whole day with leaders of companies. Small companies come and they learn about what they know and what they don't know, and how to kind of get them focused on, hey, do I know what I'm doing? Am I on the right track? And if you are, great. And if you're not and you want a little guidance and coaching, then that's what we're there to do as well. So one of the things we find when we speak to companies, the most of the stuff that we teach people, they already know it. Like, we're not rocket science, right? We're not teaching anything that's so like, whoa, like this is amazing. No, it's not amazing. The stuff that we teach, people already know. But the difference between knowing something and doing something are two different things. And that's what happens. Coaches help you figure out how to get you and your team to do the things you know you need to do and you're not doing.
I really like that point, because most of us know it's kind of like life. I know I need to eat right. I know I need to exercise. But then you still employ a coach, a diet coach, a coach at the gym, because sometimes you just need that encouragement that what you're doing is good. Just tweak it a little bit. Just tweak it, and commit that year or whatever time to seeing real change, incremental change over time.
Absolutely. And by the way, the year, and same thing with the gym and everything, is because you have to create new healthy habits that have to become part of your routine, and yet they need to stick. Because if you just jump in and jump out, like yo-yo dieting, right, it's not going to last, and you're not going to get the real results you're looking for.
Right. There's no quick fix in business or in life.
There isn't.
Unfortunately. Well, Warren, it's been great talking to you. I really appreciate the business that you're running and helping people, succeed.
Okay, well, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you too.
Thank you for joining us today on the Growing Your Business podcast. Please see the show notes for links to our sponsors, our social media, and to learn more about today's guest.